This is my super simple calculator or console calculator that I made with mono development. It's basically just simple if and else statements and some while loops that makes this whole thing run. To start off, let's go over the variables. We have two chars. That one is called start over, the other one is supposed to be continue. So that when you make one calculation, you can either decide to continue with that answer and do more to that answer, or you can start over from scratch. And you can do that by either answering Y for yes or N for no. Then we have some doubles, one for the first value you have, called first number, the one for the second value, second number, one for answer, and one for old number, which could also be called old answer, because that's where we store the answer from before. And if you choose to continue, then that's will become kind of like the first value. And it has to be double so we can use decimal numbers and, Alright, the first thing it asks you to do is enter a starting number, first number, which it then converts the string into a double. So you use it as a number. Then it asks you what you want to do with that number. For example, enter the action. So if you want to add, subtract, multiply, divide, modulus, or the three I made. So 1 over x, the square root of your number, or per mil, so your number divided by 1,000, which it then converts into a string. So we can use that for our if statements. We could also have made like a switch and use cases, but I like if statements better. So for example, if you choose the action plus, when you write plus, it asks you to enter a second value, so the thing you want to add to your first value. It then converts that into a double. And then it takes your first number and add that with your second number and gives you an answer. And a little calculation, because I think that's nice to see what the calculation was. It then stores that answer in old numbers, so we can use that if we want to do more to that number. The same with subtract, multiply, divide, and modulus. But when we get to 1 over x, it doesn't ask you to enter a second number because you don't need that, because it's just 1 divided by what your first number was. And again, storing that in old numbers so we can use it. The exact same thing with square root. It just takes the square root, doesn't ask for more. Then when you made your first calculation, it asks you if you want to continue. If you, for example, say yes, you want to continue, then we enter the second while loop, where you then don't need to write an initial value because it's remembering the one from before, the one we stored in old number. But then you have to decide some action you want to do to that. And again, it's the exact same while loop, except now it's old number instead of first number. Yep. And when you finish that, you can continue again with your new answer, and it goes into this while loop. Or if you say no, then it asks you if you want to start over. If you then say yes, I want to start over, you go to the beginning and have to enter a first value, action, second value, blah, 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 and over again. Or if you say no, it just quits the program. Okay, let's see the program in action. So this is nothing visual, just a very, very simple console calculator. We can, for example, enter your starting number, let's say 6, just make it simple. Something we can do in our head too. 6 plus 5, what might that be? 11. Do you want to continue with that number? Yes, we will. So we write y. What do we want to do with that value? We want to multiply that by, let's say, 45. Then 11 times 45 is 495. You want to continue? Yes, let's do it one more time. Let's take the square root of that number. So the square root of 495 is 22 point blah 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 blah. We can also choose to not continue, say no. Then we can start over, yes, with new numbers. So let's say we want to do something to 2000. What do we want to do? We want to divide that by, let's say, 45. Okay, I said 2000, I wrote 200, divide, blah, blah, blah. Want to continue? No, not really. Want to start over? No, not really. It ends the program. So that was it. Nothing special, just super easy coding.